This is my better half.
Don Kramer. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. We're having a crazy one, as always.
As always. And this is the You Are the Miracle podcast.
That's right.
And today we wanted to do a slightly different show. We really want to talk about the whole idea. One of the main themes that is behind Christmas is the idea of peace on earth.
That's right.
Jesus was known as the Prince of Peace, and here we are getting ready to celebrate his birthday for another year. So let's just focus a little bit tonight on the idea of peace. I don't know if you've ever heard of a woman that was called the Peace Pilgrim, but she was known for walking this country back in the 50s. And she actually was the first woman to walk the whole Appalachian Trail in one season. And she was all about visiting different towns and bringing her message of peace to people. So I'm going to just share with you. First of all, we have some very cool pictures that we want to share. And these are all pictures of things that instill peace for us. And these are all pictures, I believe all of them actually have come from our travels over the last 5.5 years. And we hope that you enjoy these as we share with you some of the quotations from the Peace Pilgrim. This first photo that we're going to share is actually from North Carolina. It's called Looking Glass Falls, and I hope that this survived the hurricanes, because this is in the mountains of Western North Carolina, and we truly have no idea whether it is still there. But at any rate, the top 10 quotes from the Peace Pilgrim. Number 10 is, as I lived up to the highest light I had, higher and higher light came to me. She was definitely a big believer in the light of God, and she believed that we all were meant to shine that light. So she made it her business to do that in so many ways. And it's something that we can think about as we are in this Christmas season. The next photo we'll share is actually of an aquarium, and this is in Key Largo, Florida. Not Largo, that's where we are now, but this is Key Largo. This was very early on in our travels, and I've just always loved the colors of this fish and the beautiful aquarium that it was in. But the number 9 quote from the Peace Pilgrim is, "We are all cells in the same body of humanity."
You got to think about that. That is so profound.
It is.
Really, really interesting.
It absolutely is. And especially, when there's so many things that we've experienced, especially this year, where there's so many things that we think about that divide people. There's so much division, so much separateness.
Yes.
It's really, if we want to find peace, we need to start to really understand that we are all cells in the same body of humanity. I love that. The next photo we'll share with you this evening. Let's see. I guess I got to take that one off first. Woo, here we go. Yes, this is a sunset that is actually over the Gulf of Mexico. This was taken when we were taking a boat ride just off from Fort Myers Beach a couple of years ago. And it was an amazing sunset to be able to watch right over the Gulf like it is. That's one of the cool things about Florida, right? You can watch the sun rise over water on one side of the state, and then go to the other side of the state and watch it sunset. It's a good thing. So let's see what the Peace Pilgrim has to say for number 8. Ooh, before the tongue can speak, it must have lost the power to wound.
Wow.
Ooh, that is a big, profound one for sure. How often do people speak before they think, and before they think about how those words may be heard? there's so much that we can do if we can just stop and pause for a moment and think about being able to verbalize things in a much more loving and friendly way. Yes, there's times we're angry and it's tough. But this is one of the things that if we recognize that we're all a cell in the body of
That's
humanity,
right. We
we
are.
can certainly work on this, wouldn't you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Cure that tongue, huh?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So the next photo we'll share with you is here it is. It's actually called Cherokee Lake, and it is in the southern part of Georgia. We actually were here during the Easter season. It was just outside of Thomasville, Georgia, where there was a beautiful rose garden that we got to see. And this lake was right adjacent to that rose garden, and it is just I love the picture. It just captured the willow trees along with
Yeah,
it.
it's beautiful.
Absolutely. So let us go to number 7 quote from Peace Pilgrim. Oh, this one really kind of might resonate with us, don't you think? A pilgrim is a wanderer with a purpose. That
We
kind of
gotta
sounds
have a
like
purpose.
us, don't you
Yes.
think?
Yes. The pilgrim.
I never knew we were pilgrims, but hey, we've been doing plenty of wandering over the last 5.5 years, and we certainly do have purpose everywhere that we go. So there you have it. Think about that is how much wandering with purpose are you doing? Because, one of the other things that we love to say, we like to remind people about Jesus, he didn't say to sit and wait for him. He said to follow him.
That's right.
So more people should be following him by being a wanderer with purpose. Think about that as we go through this Christmas season. And then here is another very cool photo. This actually was before we hit the road in the RV. You remember where this was taken?
In DC.
Yes, Washington, D.C. I love this photo because it just shows the light just streaming in on these two women. And this is right in the front of the Jefferson Memorial in D.C. So a very cool picture. I've titled it Reignite the Light. And I just love how that looks. So let's see what number 6 is with the Peace Pilgrim. Ah, when you find peace within yourself, you become the kind of person who can live at peace with others. Whew. And I'm going to say, we've met a few people who've been challenged to try to find peace within themselves.
Yes. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that need to find that peace within themselves.
Well, if we can't find that peace within, which many people feel is very, very feasible, if you look within to find Jesus within your heart,
Yeah.
you find that peace within yourself, then you can become the kind of person who can live at peace with others. We can't have peace on earth until we each look to find that peace within. It's a biggie for sure. All right. And next up for our photos, this one we took just this past summer. And again, Western North Carolina. Can you see what the name of this
I
falls
can
is?
say it. And yes, it will.
The name of these falls is called Bust Your Butt Falls. And I did not include one of those pictures, but there are actually pictures of people who were jumping off the rocks into different areas of these falls.
Coming down.
Woo! It
Sliding
was,
down the falls.
yeah, absolutely.
Busting their butt.
Absolutely. No, we didn't see anybody getting hurt. They were having a
Nope.
good time. But we thought it was really interesting that somebody decided to name this Bust Your Butt Falls. So there we have it. So the number 5 quote from the Peace Pilgrim. You want to read that one?
Oh, you want me to read? The simplification of life is one of the steps to inner peace. A persistent simplification will create an inner and outer well being that places harmony in one's life.
Mm, absolutely. Well, and if you ever want to figure out a way to go about simplifying your life, make a decision to move into an RV.
Oh, you will simplify. You won't have all the extra things you think you need, but you really don't need.
It's true, but it really is the truth. You can, get rid of things that are not needed, and you will be able to find more peace. It's just about making things simpler. We've made life way too complicated, don't you think?
Definitely have people done that.
Okay, well, let's see what our next peaceful picture looks like here today. We have, oh, yes,
Hmm.
this was taken over Lake Marion in
South
South
Carolina,
Carolina. Yeah,
almost midway in the state on 90 off 95.
just off 95. Yep, you can see it going down 95 through South Carolina. And I just loved how the sun was shining through the trees. Just the bright light of that is always an
Very
amazing.
peaceful place.
Absolutely. And the campground we were at was really nice too. So let's go to number 4 from the
All
Peace
right.
Pilgrim. Ooh, this kind of sort of relates to the last one about simplification.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you cannot relinquish when it has outlived its usefulness possesses you. And this materialistic age, a great many of us are possessed by our possessions. Oof.
Mm.
I think that's why we got so many of the storage facilities in the country.
That's right.
Everybody just keeps storing stuff.
People have things. I can't get rid of that. I've
I
done it.
might need it someday.
I tried it. I've had it for 20 years, but I just might need it.
Oh my goodness. Well, and it is when the more of the things that you're just holding on to and holding on to. Now it's saying if it's outlived its usefulness. That's the thing. How many things do we hold on that we're no longer using at all? It's definitely one way you can increase the peace in your life. In fact, I know a lot of people who are professional organizers, and I never realized how much that the stuff that we hold on to in our lives affects our mental wellness.
Definitely.
And a lot of these organizers, they do a wonderful job of helping people clear stuff out that's no longer being used, and it helps to simplify their mental well-being.
It's like lifting a big burden off of you.
Absolutely. So, we get tied up in stuff, and that's not a healthy place to be. So, thinking about all these things as ways to find peace during this holiday season. So, this also was Lake Marion, and we happened to capture just this beautiful sunset as it was coming down over the lake. And definitely, I think we took that at the same time we took the one of the trees, the sun coming through the trees.
Right.
And with that, number 3 from the Peace Pilgrim. This is the way of peace. Overcome evil with good, falsehood with truth, and hatred with love. That's a mouthful, don't you think?
Hatred with love.
Yep.
Overcoming hatred with love.
Oh, boy. It takes some real thinking about these things to just be able to stay focused. So many people get so caught up in the things that they see, the evil in the world, and they just want to talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. It's like we lose sight of the good in the world that is happening. And there is a lot of it. We see it everywhere we go, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, even today, here's this small church that put on this huge lunch for everybody and invited everybody in the neighborhood to come. It was an amazing thing. And those are good deeds that we need to hear more about. Because, if all we do is stay focused on the evil, we're going to get more evil. Hate to say it, but that's kind of how it goes. And I know I got one more photo in here. And I call this the light of God. I just think this is the coolest photo. And actually, it's not ours. This came from a fellow full-time RVer. His name is Bruce, and he is actually a Canadian resident, but he's hanging out in Mexico these days in his RV. And this was a photo I asked if I could utilize it that he had posted on the internet. And I just think it's a really cool photo that can just really help you to think about and feel peace. If you can just imagine that light just moving in and around all of us. And let's go to the number 2 quote from the Peace Pilgrim. Uh, Pure love is a willingness to give without a thought of receiving anything in return. There's definitely peace that can be found in giving. And definitely. And we're just gonna, because I don't think I have a 10th photo in there. Yep. So we're just gonna go to the number 1 quote from the Peace Pilgrim. You want to read that one?
Oh, sure. If you realize how powerful your thoughts are, you would never think a negative thought.
Ooh, wow.
Ever.
Ever.
Think about that, folks.
That is tough. And it's tough because we get so caught up in negative thoughts, we don't even realize when we're doing it. And it's hard. How can you be at peace when your thoughts are constantly being caught up in negative things?
The trouble, so much of this world is negative. If one person can just do positive thought, maybe someone else will think of a positive thought, and then it can carry on to the next person. It could grow. It could be a positive thought growth.
That is it. That is exactly it. And, kind of goes back to the name of our podcast, right? If we want to see peace on earth, if we want the kind of peace that, our Creator has promised us, that Jesus has promised us, you're the miracle that can help make that happen.
Here's something for everybody to try. Just try to do one act of kindness for someone. One a day. Try doing that.
It's a good thing to do.
And if everybody did that.
It's true. You can find a place of peace within.
That's true.
Because if you can't find the peace within, it's hard to find the peace out there. So that's all that we wanted to share with you today. Hope you enjoyed our photos, some of our travels, some of the things. We look for those peaceful places and peaceful spots. I love to take pictures of those kinds of things because, peace begins with us. What's the song we used to sing? Let there be peace on earth, yes, and let it begin with me. So Let it begin with us and let it begin with you. And if you are someone who celebrates Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We hope you have a fabulous week. And we'll look forward to seeing you again to celebrate the new year next week.
That's right.
Take care, everybody. Have an awesome week.
And peace out.
Peace out. Bye-bye.
Bye.